What up, everybody? Thanks for checking into the Brown Mamba podcast. For those of you who don't know, my name is Jackson. This episode, I'm going to be talking about a few things here. Going to go over the NFL stuff, my Week 5 picks, and my fantasy lineup. But I'm also going to be doing a quick preview or how I think the MLB playoffs is going to go this year. So yeah, let's get started. So last week on my picks, I finished 8-7, bringing my overall score to a total of 33-30, which is pretty good if you ask me. Still keeping it above 500, which is good, and hopefully I can keep it going this week. All right, so tonight's game, Thursday game, we got Arizona at San Francisco. Give me Arizona on the road. It's definitely a must-win for them. They haven't been looking good all year so far. I think they can get it done against a struggling SF team who, just hasn't been looking good at all. And this would definitely be a confidence booster for Arizona going forward. Big win, off a lot of losses, and on the road definitely helps. All right, next up, we got Baltimore against Washington. Give me Baltimore at home. After a tough loss at home against the Raiders, this is definitely going to be a bounce-back game that they need. And, Washington just isn't that great. So, yeah, give me Baltimore at home. All right, and next up, we got Tennessee at Miami. Pretty easy here. Give me Miami. Not going to be a good game overall, but, Miami's not that great. But, Tennessee's offense just sucks so bad that, I just don't think that they can, put up enough points against Miami's a little bit better than average defense. So, yeah, give me Miami at home. All right, now we got Houston at Minnesota. Pretty easy take here again. Minnesota at home. Their defense is just too good, and I just don't think Houston has a chance at all. Minnesota's way too good, and look for them to be still undefeated at 5-0 going forward. All right, next up, we got Chicago at Indianapolis. This has the potential to be this week's stinkfest. So if I'd be gambling this game, this would definitely be a stay away just because it's so both teams are so unpredictable in a bad way. But for the sake of having to pick a team, I'm going to go with Indianapolis at home. Only reason here is that I trust in Luck. I still believe in Luck, even though he's been getting pounded all season long, pause. But he's still a really good quarterback, and I think he can take advantage of a pretty bad Chicago Bears defense. So, yeah, Indianapolis at home. All right, and next up, we got the New York Jets going to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh at home. They came out last week and showed how great their offense is, and I think they can keep that going. The Pittsburgh offense is just too good, in my opinion, for the Jets to handle. So, yeah, give me Pittsburgh at home. All right, now we got Philadelphia at Detroit. Give me Philly on the road. Their defense has just been really, really great this year. A lot better than people expected. And I just think that Detroit's offense has been way too inconsistent, to be able to handle the pressure that Philly's defense can cause for them. And also, man, Wentz is looking great. He's had a whole extra week to prepare for the Detroit's defense coming off the bye week. So, yeah, give me Philly on the road. All right, now we got New England at Cleveland. All right, give me the Pats. 2 words for you. Tom Brady. That's it. He's coming back finally after 4 weeks. And, and look for him to, take advantage of a bad Browns team. And, he can use this as kind of a tune-up game for him to ease his way back into, season form. Also hopefully get some fantasy points for me, baby. All right, next up, we got Atlanta at Denver, and this is going to be probably the most interesting watch. I'm not saying it's the best, but definitely the most interesting. We have 2 of the top teams in the NFL, both Atlanta being one of the top offenses, actually being the top offense, and Denver being one of the top defenses. Atlanta snuck up on a lot of teams with how good their offense has been this year so far, but this is definitely going to be their first test of the year, so they can finally get a chance to prove themselves against a good defense. But I just think Denver's defense is too good, and so yeah, give me Denver at home. All right, now we got San Diego at Oakland against my Raiders, who I think will get the W in this game. Very important game against the struggling Chargers for the Raiders. These are the kind of games that they have to take care of. If the Raiders want to be a championship contender, that these are the kind of games they got to take care of. They can't get all, relaxed and lackadaisical play down to the competition. They got to continue to stay consistent, keep playing great offense, and continue to improve their defense every week. And I think they'll be able to continue their winning ways against the Chargers. So, yeah, give me my Raiders at home. All right, these next 2 games were pretty tough choices for me. I could have went either way with them, but ultimately I had to make a choice. First off, you got Buffalo at LA. I'm going to take the Rams in this one. Don't really like it, but, I think they're going to be feeling good coming home off of a couple of good wins. And plus the Buffalo, even though they got the win against the Pats, kind of a cream puff win. Pats didn't have a quarterback. They just looked completely depleted and kind of were ready to just kind of throw it away and get it that week over with. Didn't really care how they did, So yeah, not feeling too good about this pick, but anytime I'm kind of indecisive, I'll take the home team. So yeah, give me the Rams at home. All right, and the other game that I wasn't sure about was Cincinnati at Dallas. Both teams are playing well, not great, but doing well. Dallas's offense has definitely been one of the big surprises this season with how well they've been playing, with, especially with 2 rookies leading the charge. But ultimately, I think that their defense has been playing so poorly that that's what's going to hurt them the most. And Cincinnati's offense has been looking really good so far also, but they just have too many weapons, I think, with A.J. Green, Jermaine Gresham, and they're actually starting to get their running backs more involved, both running and receiving. So give me Cincinnati on the road. All right, and now for the Sunday night main event, we got the New York Giants going to Green Bay. Give me Green Bay at home in this one. They looked good in week 3. Their offense looked like the offense of old, and they had an extra week to prepare for the Giants with the bye week last week. Also, you can say it as that the media is construing it as much as they want, but this Odell attitude problem has really been a distraction for the Giants. You got Eli saying something, you got the coach saying something, you got all these different people saying something, and then you got Odell saying something else. And you hate to have an issue like this, really actually affect the team. And you always try to sweep it under the rug and say, "Oh no, we'll get through it." But man, it's really looking like it's been getting out of hand. It kind of really seemed like it reached the tipping point here, or the rock bottom point, where they kind of got together and said, "Hey, let's fix this. Let's fix this shit up." And so hopefully they can go forward and put this all behind him, and Odell can get his attitude under control and get his emotions under control mainly, and they can go forward and start playing a lot better. But I don't think it'll be this week. I just think that Green Bay's offense will be a little bit too much to handle. So yeah, give me Green Bay at home. All right, and for the Monday night matchup, we got Tampa Bay going to Carolina. Another tough one. Both teams not playing as well as everyone thought they would. Definitely a must-win for both teams, but I think that Carolina can get this win at home, especially if the defense holds up and Cam can stay protected. That's been the major issue, is that both the defense and Cam has been underperforming this season. Mainly it's not Cam's fault. He's just been getting, absolutely wrecked all season long. If they can keep him upright, to let him do Cam things that he does, they can definitely take advantage of a Tampa Bay defense that hasn't been looking as good as everyone thought. And yeah, Tampa Bay's just been, looking a little mediocre all around, and they've been struggling the last couple of weeks, and I don't think that they can get it done this week either. So yeah, give me Carolina at home. All right, so those are my picks this week. Going with a lot of home teams, so hopefully home field advantage can be a big factor this week and help out my record. All right, so now I'm getting to how my fantasy teams did. So I split this week. I won my fantasy league and I lost my my Gramps league. So I'm gonna start off with a losing note and then finish on a good note. So yeah, my Gramps league, didn't do so hot. Derek Carr did really well for me, gave me 32 points, but that was about it. Oh yeah, and Cincinnati's defense too, they gave me 13 points, but that was about it. Everyone else is pretty underwhelming, and it definitely showed my score. Didn't even put up 90 points altogether, so yeah, hopefully I can do much better this week. So yeah, now to my fantasy league, and I guess you can call it a win, but I'll take a win any way I can, because I didn't score any points really, but my opponent scored just as little as I did. So Dak Prescott and Antonio Brown both gave me 18 points, and yeah, that was about all the points I got. No one else broke 10, and yeah, I'm just lucky that my opponent didn't do as well as I did this week. So like I said, I'll take a W any way that I can. All right, so now I'm gonna get into my lineups. I'm actually playing my mom this week, so sorry mom ahead of time if I whoop your ass. So starting for me for the first time all season long, we have Terrific Tom Brady. For receivers, I got Mike Evans and Jarvis Landry. And starting at running backs this week, I got Todd Gurley, and then I picked up Darren Sproles because I had Alfred Morris, but then Ezekiel has been playing so well that he's been getting a lot more carries, and it's definitely reflecting with how many points or how little points Alfred Morris has been scoring for me. Tight end, I got Martellus Bennett so that Tom Brady can find him for some more touchdowns, and then at my flex, I got Amari Cooper. And as always, for my kicker, I got Seabass, and at defense, I got Cincinnati. Hopefully I can get a lot more production than I did out of my running backs this week. I got like a total of 8 points from my running backs last week, and I really, really need those points. That's been hurting me all season, and it's been a revolving door of running backs for me this year. So for both my teams. So hopefully we can get that straightened out, and I can start getting some more W's. All right, moving on to my fantasy league. So again, starting from your quarterback, we have Tom Terrific. My receivers, I got Antonio Brown, and I'm bringing back Alshon Jeffrey into the starting lineup. Might change that, not quite sure yet. I had Sammy Coates last week, but he didn't really do much for me. And the Bears are playing Indy, who hasn't been playing well either, so kind of going with that. Don't like it, but hey, I got to do what I got to do. Running backs, again, struggling with running backs. I got Darren Sproles, and I got Jalen Richard, who's going to be probably getting more carries. It looks like Latavius Murray might miss the game, and if he doesn't miss the game, he's definitely not going to get as many carries with some turf toe issues. So yeah, I got Jalen Richard in the starting lineup for me this week, even though he didn't do much for me last week. Starting for me this week at tight end, I got Martellus Bennett because Travis Kelce's on a bye. And my flex position, I got Clive Walford from the Raiders, who, again, didn't do much for me last week. But, I think Lee Smith is out with a lower leg injury. I didn't really see exactly what. But hopefully that can get him more snaps and he can get some more catches and hopefully get a couple of touchdown grabs. And again, like always, the kicker, I got Seabass. And my defense, I got Carolina, who might be looking to get replaced if they don't pick it up this week on defense. So those are my lineups this week. Made a little bit of changes, like I said, about my running back issues or my running back woes are continuing to hurt me, but hopefully they can get fixed going forward and I can, find some guys on the waiver wire that can help produce for me, give me some points. All right, now moving on to one of the best times of the year is postseason baseball. So we got a great postseason this year, a lot of great teams, from both the AL and the NL. And I have the bracket right here in front of me. As you may know, the wild card games were earlier this week, and Toronto made it, and the freaking Giants made it. But ultimately, even though I hate the Giants, they do make the playoffs a lot better and more interesting. So here's how I think things might go down. So I'm gonna start off in the AL just because I don't quite know as much about the AL teams. Being a Dodger fan, I do focus more on the NL just to see where they are in the standings. So I might know. I don't know everything, but I do know a little bit more about the NL than the AL. That's not to say I don't know anything about the AL, but here's how I think things might shake up in the AL. So first things, we got the second hottest rivalry in baseball right now behind the Dodgers and the Giants. We got the Texas Rangers playing against the Toronto Blue Jays, who, as you may know, have famously gone at it in recent years. All the Jose Bautista bat flip game, and then earlier this season when Odor clean clocked Bautista at second base for sliding late and stuff like that. So definitely gonna be a fun one to watch. When I saw that the Rangers were the number one seed, that kind of surprised me because I thought that Boston or Cleveland would be the number one seed, but considering how well that they've been publicized all season long. But yeah, Texas with the number one seed with the really good record. But and then I took a look at their roster, solid roster all the way around, and really balanced team that they do what you're supposed to do. They pitch well to keep the score low, and then they score a lot more runs on offense, and there's not much more you can ask for that. And they've been riding that all season long, and I think they can keep riding that through the playoffs, and I think they can edge past the Blue Jays in this one. And yeah, the Blue Jays, they had the same formula all season for the last few years, with Bautista, Donaldson, Encarnacion, those guys. It's just that extreme power offense where if those guys are just hitting the ball all over the park, then it doesn't really matter how many other runs the other team scores, they'll just, outmuscle you. But, if that power is not there, then, that's definitely what's going to hurt them. So I just think Texas is too good of a team right now and playing too well. And I think that the Texas might, they're a lot more balanced and they'll edge it out in this series. We got the number 2 seed Indians going against the number 3 seed Red Sox. Man, if you just based on the way that the Red Sox have been covered all season, you'd think that they were the best team in history. Them or the Cubs. But Boston's got a really really strong offense. From top to bottom, everyone's been hitting really well. Big Papi's been playing out of his mind in his last season, so that'd always be good for him to go out with a bang. But everyone's hitting well. Pedroia's still hitting well. Mookie Betts, freaking Xander Bogaerts, all those guys just out of control playing well. Jackie Bradley Jr., just those three guys have been solid all season long. And, I don't really see where they have any faults really other than maybe their pitching, even though their pitching's been really well. But yeah, I kept hearing about the Indians. I saw that they were winning. There was the Windians thing. They had that winning streak. And, Terry Francona is a great manager, and then this is definitely going to be, he's gonna be looking to get some revenge for the way that he was treated after he left, or some would say left, or some would say kicked out of Boston. But it's definitely gonna be a motivating factor for a solid roster from top to bottom. I was like, who plays for them? Like I knew they had Trevor Bauer, I knew they had Corey Kluber, and then I think they traded for the guy from the Yankees. But then I was like, damn, this is a pretty good lineup from top to bottom. Napoli's been hitting the ball really well, and all these guys. And then I saw that they traded for Coco Crisp, and then just bringing guys in like that to help out their team. And yeah, all around just a great team. It's gonna be a really great series. I really don't know who's gonna win. I don't know enough about them, because it just seems so evenly matched all the way around for them. Because like I said, both teams hit the ball well, and both teams have really great pitching. But if I had to, I might say Cleveland's pitching is a little bit better. They have a little bit more depth at the top. I don't know how their bullpens are or anything like that, but just going off that, I might just barely give Cleveland the edge in this one. All right, now moving on to the NL. I'm going to start off with the Cubs and the Giants, just because I hate the Giants so much that just want to get them out of the way. Now, when I say I hate the Giants, I don't really hate the Giants. I mean, I do hate the Giants, but I do understand that they are a great team. They're one of the only teams that I'll irrationally say that I hate so much, but it's because they are so good. Freaking guys like Bumgarner, Posey, Pagan, Belt, Crawford. Like, I know all these guys on this team because I hate them so much that but you can't help but admit that they are great. The Giants definitely, the only chance they have is if, they keep doing what they've been doing, and what ultimately got them the win in this, in the game against the Mets. They rode their starting pitching and, hope that their offense can just come through with one big hit, which is literally what happened in that wild card game. So, it's the same blueprint they've been running with for the last few seasons now. This past season, their bullpen did slack a lot, but, and it showed because they didn't even have anyone warming up really when, in that wild card game. They just rode Bumgarner the whole way. If their starting pitching can continue to dominate the way that they have in the past and not have to really go to their bullpen at all, then, Giants have a chance. But yeah, the Cubs, they're the number one seed and the best team in baseball this year for a reason. All their star players played really well all season long. Rizzo, Bryant, Arrieta, Hayward, all those guys, they just all played extremely well. We're all extremely consistent all season long. And when those guys are playing well and firing on all cylinders, then then look out. Then it doesn't. I don't think it matters how well the Giants play or how well their starting pitching pitches. Those guys are going to be able to take advantage of it. But if the Cubs star players, they are still young. And they did make it to the playoffs last year, got a taste of it. But if they still get a little jitters, they aren't as consistent. They aren't hitting the ball as well as they were before. And don't perform as well as we know that they can. And, that's the only edge that the Giants have, really. But I think the Cubs, they got a taste of it last season. And, I know that they definitely want more. These guys are young and hungry, and they're going to be looking to play as well as they can. And so, yeah, give me the Cubs over the Giants in the NLDS. All right, and now moving on to the Dodgers and the Nationals. So the Nats have home field advantage, and that's all right. I'm still taking the Dodgers anyway. So I'll start off with what I know about the Nats. They do have home field advantage, and they've got a strong offense, but they finished the season without a lot of their key players. Harper didn't play a lot. Murphy didn't play. I think they lost Wilson Ramos for the entire playoffs and maybe into next season, and a few other key players for their teams. But that's always typical at the end of the regular season. Once you've clinched the playoffs, you just want to rest your key guys, get them ready. They're saying Daniel Murphy's questionable or might not go, but he's gonna play. He's a gamer. He'll be out there. But yeah, they do have a really strong offense, and that's gonna be what can ultimately carry them all the way to the World Series. And not just strong as in power numbers, but these guys are hitting for average as well. I think Daniel Murphy finished with one of the top batting averages in not just the NL but the entire league. Harper has just been crushing the ball lately. And yeah, overall that was a team that's been hitting the ball really well. Again, not just for power but for average. And the only thing that can hinder them is if those players who miss some time at the end, if those actually were legit injuries, legit nagging injuries and weren't just, precautionary things. Yeah, it's definitely going to hurt that they don't have Strasburg for this the DS series. I think they said he has a chance to pitch if they go further, but he's definitely not going to be pitching this DS, and that's definitely going to hurt the Nationals not having their ace. But if they can, keep hitting the ball the way they do and stay healthy, then, they might have a chance. Now that brings me to the Dodgers. They're going to ride Kershaw, I hate all the Peyton Manning comparisons that he gets. Great regular season, not as great in the postseason. Hopefully he can, get it together this season. He took time off this season. As we all know, he missed an extended period of time with a back injury, and hopefully that can, that actually helped him out. It took the workload off of him for the season. He didn't throw as many pitches. A lot of stress off his arm. He's been pitching really well as of late, and hopefully he can ride that momentum all the way through the playoffs this time, and help lead us to all the way to the World Series and hopefully to a championship. But it's not just Kershaw; it's the other guys too. We got Hill, we got Maeda. The bullpen's been looking a little bit better. Their numbers are obviously going to be inflated because Jansen is such a lights out closer. But then, over the season, the bullpen's improved, and that's all Dodger fans have been looking for. I joke around that there's 3 things guaranteed in life: death, taxes, and that the Dodgers bullpen always has a chance to blow the lead. And all Dodger fans know how frustrating the bullpen's been recently. But yeah, they have been improving, and that's all we want. We're not looking for perfection. We're just looking for improvement. And then they have been getting better over the course of the season. And, they have been hitting the ball really well lately. This is the first time in a long time, since like 92 or something, that four more Dodgers have had 25 home runs plus. And, these young guys, led by easily the NL Rookie of the Year, Corey Seager. These guys are just really hitting the ball well. Seager's hitting the ball well. Peterson's hitting the ball well. Yaz is hitting the ball well. Big Red over here, Justin Turner, just hitting the cover off the ball too. But everyone's been hitting really well overall too. Gonzalez is almost at 300. All these guys are hitting in the high 200s, and we have a lot of depth at a lot of positions. Kendrick can literally play almost any position now. Infield and outfield. You got Kike, who hasn't been hitting the ball as well as everyone would hope that he could. He's also just a great utility defender. We can switch out Reddick and Puig, who had a resurgence in the last half. It looked like his trip down to AAA ball was very good for him. To help get his mind right, and we can rotate those 2 guys out depending on lineups. And then, you got other guys coming in off the bench. You got Tolles who can go out. He can pinch run if you need to. If he can get a big hit in a key situation if you need to. You still got Ether, who's, a seasoned vet for the Dodgers. And then it always does help. I mean, it hurts. It hurts all of us, all of us Dodger fans. That AJ Ellis isn't here, but him. Even though he's not here, it's good that we have a guy who's been there, who's been around the block like Ruiz has. So he's a good guy to have in the locker room. And yeah, so I think that the Dodgers can get it done. They can ride Kershaw, they can ride the starting pitching the way that they need to, and as long as they keep their offensive woes down, especially against left-handed pitching, that's all. When they've been on national TV at the end, that's all they've been talking about is how bad they've been against left-handed pitching, and they are rightfully so. They have been pretty bad against left-handed pitching, but they've been getting a little bit better. Overall, the guys are playing well, and they can ride the starters like Kershaw and Hill and Maeda, because they're all going to pitch well, keep the score down. The Dodgers, all they got to do is just make contact. They got a bunch of guys in the lineup who can put the ball in play and score some runs, and then hopefully, the bullpen can hold the lead for us, and then if we got a 2-run lead going into the ninth, you got Kenley coming out. Say no more, fam. That's it. So yeah, give me the Dodgers to take the NLDS. All right, so those were my picks and my fantasy lineup and how the division series for the MLB playoffs is going to go. If you agree or disagree with me, go ahead and sound off in the comments below. Let me know what you think. And like always, subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Go ahead and give me a follow and all my ads. Those are all in the bio down below. I hope your picks go better than mine. Hope your fantasy teams go better than mine. Or if you're going to a bar to watch the games or anything like that, please don't drink and drive. Be safe. Enjoy your weekend. And oh yeah, I also got my very first interview coming soon, so stay tuned for that. And like always, peace.